Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Maccabee from GMS, Colorado. First and foremost, I want to say all praises unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Wakam Kadash. All right. I want to say double honors unto the elders of GMS who taught us this word. All right. And all the true leaders of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. I also want to extend the deep and sincere shalom to all of my fellow laborers in Akim who are pushing this truth around the four corners of the earth. To you, brothers, I say shalom. Just going to get into a little sit down here. But I wanted to just show you some of these articles, man, of how, I bookmark a lot of these articles, and I don't often, do videos on a lot of them. But just to show you, man, just, some of the timelines of some of these things that you can kind of just, if you look at these articles in, chronological order, that they're just leading to exactly what the scriptures say is going to happen. That they're just, everything that's going on in the world is going on right now. How can you not understand and see that World War III is around the corner? A potential civil war, race wars, class wars, and essentially all around death is coming for America, man. Pestilence and starvation and these crazy things are about to take place, man, in America. Okay. Most of the trade wars that have happened in the world, almost, and essentially all trade wars, eventually become hot wars. Okay. We had trade wars going on during World War II, World War I, and I believe also during Vietnam, and all throughout the Cold War, you had these trade wars going on, man. Okay. So if you just kind of look at some of the headlines, the trade war begins, right? China retaliates with 20% tariffs on $34 billion worth of U.S. imports. Then the United States or Mexico then turns to Russia instead of importing the United States goods. The United States was blaming and sanctioning Russia to deflect their failings. All right. And then on the right towards the end of the month here in August, Berlin decided that they do no longer need to deal with the U.S., man, or the Germans. Merkel and Macron made comments that they essentially no longer wanted to deal with the U.S., man, that the EU should not allow the United States to make decisions for Europe. All right. And then for 2 weeks straight, Russia warned of chemical attacks being used or that were going to be used in Syria. Okay. And if you haven't read this article, Akim, I'm not sure if it's still published, but it's a good read. It's got some solid intel in there as to what Russia essentially leaked the information that the White Helmets were moving United States weaponry and weapons to pull off this false flag. Okay. And then shortly thereafter, only a couple days later, Russia actually moved. And there was a video that I watched. I'll try to find it. Maybe I can put the link in for somebody or get with one of the brothers who understands how to throw links in and link it in there for brothers. But essentially, the video shows that the Russian military's moved more than 300,000 troops into Syria, man, with 900 tanks. Okay, they're not going there to just hang out, man. The line has been drawn, and the U.S. is not going to be allowed to meddle in Syria for much longer, man. This thing is about to go hot. Okay, the Russians did not move that force there, just for shits and giggles. All right. And then a few days or a day or two after that, you had the IDF basically have all this proof that they had been funding the Syrian rebels the entire time. And they and they're trying to censor all that information. So Israel, or the nation state of Israel, I should say, these false Khazarians who are not the true people of the Lord, and the United States are getting ready to make their final move on the chessboard, man. And they're going to checkmate themselves. But I just wanted to throw some scriptures in on top of this, all this madness, man. And this, there's more madness going on in the world, but the points, man, the important stuff. Because we at the end of this thing, man. So let's get some scripts, man. Slovakia. There goes. 10. Slovakia. I had the new phone. Not some of the scriptures I've highlighted or not, but nonetheless, Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 5, and the scripture reads, "There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler." Okay, and that's what we're seeing here in, hey man, the rulers of the world, right? According to Job 9 and 24, that the hand is, or the world is given into the hand of the wicked being Esau, Edom. All right. The evil which I've seen under the sun, or Salakia, there is an evil which I've seen under the sun, as an error from the ruler. All right. You Edomites, you're unfit to rule. Okay. Which is why the world is descending into madness. You got people, buying Nikes to burn them. And I'm sure that there's some Jakes in some places that are partaking in that bullshit. But look at the state of the world right now, man. This is Esau's fault, man. Okay, because you got these Edomites running rampant over the world. This is the result of their rulership. All right, this is the result of their rulership. Transgenderism, faggotism, all these things that are being pushed in the world. Men over, or women over men. All these different philosophies, the chip ideas, all these things that are being pushed. This is all being done by Esau Edom. All right, the spiritual and physical devil on the earth, man. Okay. Down to 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. Okay. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And he that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and he that breaketh in hedge, who also breaketh in hedge, a serpent shall bite him. So there's no way for you Edomites to get around this, man. Okay. You have set folly in great dignity, man. You look at these rappers and artists and the music that's being pushed, the television shows, it's all folly and bullshit, man. None of it has anything to do with the returning of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the returning of his people to the power seat. None of it has to do with any of that. Everything in the world is focused around bullshit. Whether that bullshit be people wanting to burn Nikes, or the NBA returning, or the NFL season starting, or the UFC fights, or whatever it is that, and not that there's anything wrong fucking around sitting around to watch a football game, but these things are not the important things in the world, man. There's a difference. And the rich sit in a low place. We sit, the brothers who do this diligently, push the word, read the scriptures, and try to reciprocate the message to the rest of the brothers that are out there in the world, that the rest of the lot that need to hear this. We don't get no national airtime. We don't get no way to push other than just the internet, man. And they want to stop us from doing that. Okay, so we sit in a low place, man. We don't have riches and fancy cars, and then we got something to get from to and fro, if that. Simple jobs that they want. At the moment they find out that you're involved with this truth, or you've said the things that you've said, and in righteousness, okay, and things that you've said and with indignation towards these Edomites or the current ruling class, then they want to break you down, man. Slacky. He that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and he that breaketh an hedge and serpents shall bite him. Okay, so there's no way for you to get around this, man. All right, you Edomites are gonna have to, and you other nations for that matter, and the 2/3 as well. You're gonna have to acknowledge these truths, man. You're gonna have to find a way to deal with this, because this, just because some does not believe, man, does not mean that the word of the Lord is going to be turned back, and not be true. Salaki, I'm trying to there. I think I'm looking for Zechariah Khan. And this is my point here. I'm gonna continue. Salakia, I'm just, like I said, new phone still, so some of my scriptures in the blue letter are not highlighted. Some of the ones I would like. Nonetheless, onto Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they sell them and say, "Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich," and their Salakia, and their own shepherds pity them not. Okay. Salak. With Salakia, I was just seeing if I wanted to read more down there. But Zechariah 11:5 there, which says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they sell them that say, "Blessed be," sell them and say, "Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich." Their own shepherds pity them not. Okay, and you Edomites have done this. Our possessors in the land of Basra, or the land of Great Babylon, or America, whatever you would like to refer to it as. Uh, they slay Jake on a daily basis, and they're not held accountable. They do not hold themselves guilty for the blood and the bloodshed and the raping and pillaging and plundering that they've done across this entire nation. Okay, and even over in Europe, where the British are, and they've done the same thing throughout Europe and some of those other nations in India. They've done those things to the Hamites in Africa. You Edomites are guilty as hell, man. You slay and murder and kill and rape and rob for everything, and you do not hold yourselves accountable or guilty for any of it. And that's okay, because the main boss, the main power, okay, that being Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he holds you accountable and he holds you guilty for these things, which is the reason why you're going to be destroyed, man. Okay. One more scripture and then I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Let's see if it'll come up if I punch it in this way. No, sorry, I'll get on that one later. Anyway, okay, my next scripture. This is Nahum 3:10, and it reads, "Yet she was carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children were also dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lot for her honorable men and for her great men. And her great men were bound in chains." Okay. Thought also she be drunken. Thou shalt be hid. Thou shalt also seek strength because of thine enemy. But let me go back to the point, being that Nahum 3:10, where you Edomites have done this, man. Okay, these are crimes that you're guilty of and still guilty of today, where you have cast the lots for honorable men. Okay, we just recently witnessed two police officers flip a coin whether to arrest a person or not, man. Okay, like I said, this place is in great folly and dignity, man, because the leaders of this place are fucking devils, man. They've dashed these children to pieces, generation after generation. Okay, they've caused generational problems, generational issues for specific people, for the Lord's people, that the world hates you and despises you, you know, you want to be, you want to try and give something back, but it's too little, too late now, man. All right. Some of these people think that they can, hope their way out of this great ass whooping they know is coming, man. It's not going to work that way. All right. With that being said, want to say shalom. First and foremost, I want to say all praises unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakam Kadash. All right. I want to say a double honors unto the elders of GMS who taught me this word, and to all the Akim out there who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Continue to push, strive for the kingdom, man. Strive for the number to make that 144, man. All right. Shanabagabal.